Hi, I'm Kiki Soto,
And I'm Ellie Werthman.
and we're going to be arguing class rank. I believe that class rank should be readily available for all students on their transcripts.
And I believe that class rank should not be released.
So basically, all my years at Grady, we've been able to get our class ranks when we request our transcripts, like from our counselor or from like Parchment, and everyone can see like where they fall within their class. It's like not around the whole school, just your grade.
I think that this releasing class rank as Grady does it and just in general creates an unhealthy atmosphere where people become very competitive, especially I know I've experienced in my own grade, people in the top 5% become very competitive about getting a better class rank than the person in front of them and not letting the person behind them do better than them. And it's this unhealthy environment where instead of people trying to learn and do the best that they can for themselves, they're constantly comparing themselves to other people. And it's even gotten to the point where people will joke about making the person in front of them do worse on a test or something so that they can move up in class rank.
So I think people also get confused about what class rank actually is and like how it's calculated for each person. So like APS does their GPAs on a 100-point scale. So like at the bottom of Infinite Campus, you can see your weighted and unweighted GPA, like if you have extra 10 points from other classes or something, like AP classes. And so class rank, when it's like given on transcripts, will say unweighted class rank and weighted class rank, so you'll know how you fall among your peers based on your GPA. So a lot of people, like when like tests are handed back or like when you get a grade on a test and everyone's like, well, how'd you do or how'd you do? Like everyone knows your grade already, and class rank is just essentially an average of all of your grades. So I don't necessarily see why it's a bigger deal. Like then like everyone should just say like GPA shouldn't be released, because basically class rank is a GPA just like showed around your peers, and really like it doesn't have to be shared with anyone. And I think that's like the big thing that people miss. Like I don't go around telling people my GPA, so like I don't know why people would expect others to go around sharing their class rank.
While I understand that point, I think that in practice, that's not actually what happens. Like people will go and they'll share their grades and they'll share their class rank. And even if obviously people are still going to see other people's grades if they talk about that and they're in social groups that focus on that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to know the class rank of other people. And I'm not saying that the valedictorian and like salutatorian won't know by the end of senior year where they like what their positions are. And I even suggested in my article the top 5% being awarded at the end of senior year to like be recognized for their achievements. But I just think that there's this competitiveness that comes along with class rank, and we should try and negate that.
Yeah, and also though, like eliminating class rank totally could like potentially hurt students in the long run. Like according to College Board, and I mentioned this in my article, like most top like state universities, like really big schools, want to see your class rank to know like how your high school kind of like falls within all the other high schools that students are applying from, because it can be kind of hard for those bigger schools to get an idea of like what their students were doing in high school, because all like high schools have different ways of grading. So basically like it'll be helpful for like your college search and also for college admission officers to like know where you fall in your grade. And also before you're like a junior or senior, you usually don't take your standardized tests that like you need to take to get into college, like your SAT or ACT. And once you take those, you kind of know where you fall like along college admission lines about like what test scores you need to get into certain colleges. But like before that, the only thing that like shows how you like perform across like your peers and across other people in the country is your class rank, because like it's some like your GPA is just a number, but it's not something that's like performed over a group of people. Like you can't like compare it to a lot of people, but class rank shows you how you are out of a whole, like these standardized tests kind of do, because everyone has to take them.
And while I understand that, I also think that if colleges are seeing like different students from your school apply, then they're going to be able to compare GPAs and sort of know who falls above who. And then they're also going to be able to see if you're what percentile you're in And I don't necessarily think like releasing a percentile you're in is bad, because if you're in the top 5% of your class, which I know for my grade is about the top 15 students, then you should be proud of being in that top 5%, and it shouldn't matter as much like where you fall in that top 5%. It's just like, it's impressive that you've gotten there and that you're staying there, and like if you're in the top 10%, top 20%, and when you fill out college applications, you can indicate what percentile you are if the school does not release like specific class ranks. And I also like think that if Grady felt that they still wanted to give students class ranks to help them, then that can be something that is published with the counselor report later on when applying to college, rather than releasing it to the students.
So ultimately, when writing these stories, we both requested information from counselors, and this issue is being discussed on the district level in Atlanta Public Schools on whether or not they should be giving out class rank. So as of right now, those are just our two opinions.
Thank you.